Hello everyone and welcome to Total War Through the Ages. This episode we're going to be fighting a siege. And that's about it. But for the intro here, I guess the intro's over. I guess this is the beginning part. I'm going to kind of be going over showing you some of the plans. So we're going to be taking units from that settlement and coming over to capture the Carthaginian city, because there's a Carthaginian city somewhere on the map where I was gesturing roughly somewhere around there, because you can tell that because of the way the borders are. Anyway, just trust me, there's one down there. I don't know exactly where it is, but somewhere in the general vicinity, and we're also going to be taking this one. And then of course there's one or two over to the far left there that you saw right there at the end. And up next we should be, so the plan is we're going to be taking an army from here, and we're going to be sending it up north to start conquering the Britons that have taken a lot of those stuff in the north. And once we can recapture Marsilla, we're going to, of course, be taking, we're going to gather an army here and start sending it up to the western part of the Britain's territory and start making our way up through France. That's the basic plan. And the main thing is that that's the only pass that they can really get through to northern Italy, and then they'd have to go to that city there. So that's kind of what I was gesturing. And I'm trying to remember exactly what all I was gesturing for, because again, I'm recording this after the fact. But I was kind of gesturing at the time to try and demonstrate some stuff. But we've got a lot of troops in places that we kind of don't need them. So it's gonna take us several turns to rally them together, gather them together, and get them where we need to. So here they're attacking. I'm not really that worried about this. Their army isn't that big, and we have a fairly substantial force here, and we have quite a decent amount of heavy infantry. We got lots of hastati. We even have a couple cavalry units, though I don't know how good of condition they are. I think they're all right, but they do have quite a few rams, and that could potentially be a problem for depending how many breaches they can make. But I'm pretty sure I have enough infantry to not worry about it. So that's the main thing. I'm not too worried about it because we have quite a bit. Now I am going to kind of be talking about here the deployment. I leave this quite a bit of this in because I kind of wanted to demonstrate. So you basically, of course, the first thing you want to do is notice where all their rams are, and you can get it in. I've gotten fairly good at guessing where the AI is going to take the rams based off of where they position them. So as you see, I'm actually fairly spot on with my deployment. I have to do a few adjustments once they kind of start repositioning, but for the most part, I have a pretty good judge of where they're going to go, and pretty much it's just a matter of putting the units in the proper position. That's really about it. Sorry about that, had a phone call I had to take. But regardless, jumping into... I say that way too much. I say jumping into. Anyway, I was just saying anyway a lot, but that makes a little more sense. So here you can kind of see I'm concentrating fairly heavily on the gate. I'm going to be putting... I end up putting 3 units here, and this is for 2 purposes. One, because the gate is the first place that will be breached, but also because they're going to be attacking the walls on either side, to the left and right of the gate, where you see those 2 units on either side I have positioned. So the 2 units that are covering the sides of the gate, I can very easily just have them turn around and face the other way to support the 2 breaches on either side. So that's also the reason why it's good to concentrate around the gate. If, again, like, we already know that the enemy's going to be bringing the rams up based off of where they're positioning. They have 3 rams here, 1 at the gate and 1 on either side attacking the wall. So, and we're going to be leaving some units back here in the center. These more or less kind of we're going to be leaving the Triarii here because they're pretty badly injured, and there's no point in just throwing them away. They wouldn't really be able to do that much. They wouldn't be that useful. So position our general here. I positioned the cavalry around a while. I kind of edited it out because it took me a long time to find where I wanted the cavalry, but. And here we go. I think we're pretty easily set, or we're about to be set. Right? Yeah. Okay. Here I'm putting the last cavalry unit here. I think I ultimately ended up leaving the ranged cavalry unit, the one that throws the javelins. I'm pretty sure I left them in the center of the square, or I moved them there. I don't remember. Either way, it's not really important. They don't come into play really that much in this battle. So. And like I said, yep, there we go. We can see pretty much where they're heading. That one's going to end up heading around the corner section here. So The other ones are heading pretty much right where I thought they were. Now I do end up pausing here and kind of repositioning all the guys. So we're going to be bringing these guys. I had these guys positioned a little bit farther because I wasn't sure where they would end up coming to. So I figured I'd go ahead and have them fairly spread out. But we can very quickly come over this way, because also this ram will be the last one to get here because it's got so much farther to go. And we're only going to have 2 units there because they don't really have a very strong force with that. They only have 1 unit with that ram, so I'm not really worried about it. Now this one right here, we are going to go ahead and concentrate more of our guys on, because I believe that's one of their chosen swordsmen. I don't recall, but I'm pretty sure I actually checked to see what units were going to be at which breaches, and I kind of concentrated more heavily around where their heavy infantry was going to be. Here we go. They're at the gates and rams. We're jumping ahead here. They've already been working on them for a while. I'm just going around right before all the breaches are made, making sure that at least some of the units are on fire at will. Now, some of them I still have set to I don't have them set to fire at will yet, because I don't want to use all the ammunition right up front. I want to have some units use theirs, and then kind of have a few units save theirs for the chariots. Because typically speaking, or based off of the last time the Britons attacked Marsilla, the chariots didn't actually charge in until a bit later. So the Britons kind of held the chariots back. Now the AI is actually fairly smart. They don't attack through the gate just when the gate's the only place. They wait until they have at least a second breach somewhere in the wall to then attack through the gate. And you're about to see this. I just do a slight repositioning of this cavalry, bringing them back here. Actually, I don't know. I get them a little more positioned to where they're far enough away that I can have a decent amount of momentum, but they're also not too close to get caught out, but not too far away. So yeah, we can see the units are waiting to charge into the gate here. And I think those are the chosen swordsmen, or they might just be swordsmen. I don't recall. Actually, I think those are just swordsmen. I think the chosen swordsmen are the heavily armored ones, or the guys that actually have like the actual armor. Yeah. So there we have second breach in the gate, or breach in the wall, and then now we're gonna see them start to charge. Yeah. Well, actually, those are 2 breaches happened almost simultaneously. There's a unit of slingers, and yeah, so now they're going to start attacking, and we can see the chariots come swarming in. Now, I was getting ready to pause here, and the animation started playing, and so then it was like, eh! But I am able to pause. We're going to have these guys, and I'm pretty sure those are just swordsmen, not chosen swordsmen. Yeah, those are just swordsmen. Still heavy infantry, but they don't have as much armor. So here we are turning on the rest of our guys to have fire at will. Pretty effective there. Yeah, the chosen swordsmen are the guys with the chainmail on. Or the chain shirts, I don't know what they're called. It's chainmail, basically. It looks like chainmail. I don't know if that is actually what it was. But here we go. They charged through the gates. They honestly did not do. They charged through the gates, and they didn't really. Yeah, they put a lot of the units through the gates and only a few through the walls. And we also see some enemy units back there that have already routed thanks to my general charging in. That's actually another chariot is coming in, and I was a little bit concerned about the chariot because I was like, I'm still scared. At this point I was still kind of scared of chariots. I kind of talked about last episode how I don't think chariots are nearly as scary as I used to, but at this point when this battle happened, I still was a little bit apprehensive about chariots, and that unit routed really fast actually. But so actually we were getting ready to pull that unit over there to help, but then we're like, well, might as well come back over here. They're already routed, so. A lot of the enemy army actually routes very early on after they initially breach the walls. However, they do rally outside and actually come back for like a sort of a second assault, I guess you could say. Here we go. Just those guys are going to come in and not have a good time. Let's see. I'm trying to recall. Yeah, not a whole lot else happened. We kind of bring some more units over. We do get bloodied pretty badly here. Some of their chosen swordsmen in particular were pretty. Were kind of not really a pain, but they definitely were challenging. So the more if they start to have more and more armies that have those chosen swordsmen, they're definitely going to be a challenge to deal with. But fortunately, we also just got to where we can get actual legionaries now, and so legionaries will be able to will be kind of more on par with the chosen swordsmen, I believe. I think chosen swordsmen are kind of the Britain's equivalent to like the early legionaries, I think. So. But right now we don't have any. We only have princeps are the best infantry unit we have, really. So it would be we are kind of waiting. We are kind of going to be a little bit behind them because they already have some chosen swordsmen. They don't have a lot though. So long as they don't have a lot in any as long as they're not able to bring a lot of chosen swordsmen against us, I'm not too worried about it. So here they have one of their one chariot rallied back, as well as one of their infantry units. So one chariot just got destroyed by a Pelum. They just ate a Pelum to the face. Here we go. Yeah, again, more of the guys are kind of charging back in, but we're pretty going to wrap it up. Now, over here, this breach in the wall was where they had the chosen swordsman. I already went past it, but the breach to the if you're on the inside looking out, it'd be on the right side of the gate. That's actually the one where they made the most progress. It was that breach in the wall. And I'm jumping around here quite a bit. Actually, no, that was only one edit there. It looked like it was more than one. I guess I don't know. I need to pay better attention. Here we go. Chariots coming back in. That's their general's unit, so I was a little bit worried because general units are usually fairly strong, and it's a chariot, so I was somewhat concerned. But yeah, as we can see there, they have 2 units still fighting there. Now I'm going to be able to bring the cavalry in and hammer and anvil, but they do cause one of my units to rout. I believe that's one of the Hastati, or that actually might be the Princip unit there might have routed. I'm not sure. Either way, that section of the wall was the one where they made didn't really make very much progress, but it was definitely the hardest for me to repel. And actually, a couple units were routed in that from trying to fight those guys, and that's general goes down. That's great. But the reason that happened was they had, I think, 1 or 2 units of chosen swordsmen. But that just kind of shows you how powerful the chosen swordsmen are. At least when they're only fighting Hastati and Princips, they hang on for a while. And here we have another unit of chosen swordsmen. This is on the far left, and these guys don't last for too long. They do put up a decent fight though, but I'm bringing some more reinforcements around. In fact, I think this is the last unit that hasn't routed, so I'm pretty much bringing my entire force here. I bring out the I don't remember what they're called, but the cavalry unit that throws javelins. I'm just going to call them the javelin cavalry. So yeah, that's pretty much it. And this battle will pretty much conclude this battle. It was it wasn't super close, wasn't that big of a deal, but this will be the end of this episode for today. So, thank you all for watching. Be sure to check back next time for more Total War Through the Ages.